bird. It's been a while since I've seen one. Lena and I were talking about secretary birds just now because they're an important species that have been conserved. But we're looking at an eagle that we're not 100% sure on just yet. It's either a tawny or a lesser spotted. I don't see that white back though that you get on those lesser spotteds, but it's going to be difficult without it taking off and flying. It doesn't seem to be a big bird, and it looks small, and so the lesser spotteds are much smaller than the tawnies, and I don't know what it's eating either. It almost looks like a dung beetle that it's busy feeding on, but it's definitely going after something. I often find when we get termite hatches, the lesser spotteds landing and eating the termites, so it makes sense that it's going after some sort of insect. Let's see if when it picks up, maybe you guys at home with bigger screens, somebody's watching on their big TV, will be able to actually see what it is that it's eating. I don't know, it just doesn't give me a tawny feel, this bird. I don't know why, it just, size looks too small for me, but maybe I'm wrong. Ideally it's going to take off and fly, and that's going to give us a bit of a chance to see which one it is. So Rolo, Annalene, this one's for you, asking, have you had a memorable bird interaction? Did you say cat as well? No, just memorable interaction with a bird. I think that's what the question was. Something that you really kind of stands out for you.
Yeah, sure. So again, there's so many, but I think something that's been really, really special for me is for about 10 years now I've been working on white-winged flufftail, which is a critically endangered species. Probably the holy grail for many, many twitchers.
Yep.
Yeah, and I've had the opportunity to have these birds in hand, part of the team that was doing the ringing and taking blood in Ethiopia as well as in South Africa, and just a very, very,
and I mean, that
regard myself as special for that.
Yeah, that's very special, because you guys worked out that there's a breeding population here, because it was always thought it was only in Ethiopia, but there's now actually a breeding population in Dahlstrom, so.
Absolutely, yeah. And likely also in other parts of the country. So we only have one confirmed record from Dahlstrom, but looking at what we receiving on our camera from our camera trap data and our acoustic surveys, we could probably say that these birds are also breeding in southern KZN and Sekeni area.
Okay.
And so just a really special
that's amazing bird. And just to add to that, have you ever had any bird sightings? So like when we talk cats, we're talking like serval, caracal, lion, leopard, cheetah. I would imagine wildcat can be included in that. You had any of those crazy sightings?
I don't think I've been fortunate enough to had a cat-bird interaction.
We had a crazy sighting here. I'll tell you about it because you were talking about ground hornbills earlier. We had one day we were sitting and we'd heard a leopard sawing. And so we were driving along the road, and I was trying to check for tracks, and we spotted some ground hornbills, and they were walking along, and out of nowhere this leopard just dive bombed at this ground hornbill. It missed, but it was like close as the ground hornbill flew, and this leopard kind of coming after it. It was insane. So that was quite special to see from my point of view. And then there's those crazy photos. Have you seen them of the leopard grabbing the white stork in Kenya?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's also pretty.
But talking about the ground hornbills, I know we're also involved with the Mbula ground hornbill project. Yeah. And at Mbula, I know cheetah took out a southern ground hornbill too. Yeah,
that's amazing.
As well as a crocodile. So these poor threatened birds, which are also endangered.
Yeah.
Also, it's obviously a natural phenomenon, but prey species to some of our predators.
That's crazy. Also, I mean, cheetah and ostrich. There's been recorded cases of that. I mean, we forget ostriches are big birds. Now, one of our viewers, sorry, I didn't get the name, Maxwell. If you can just repeat it for me again, the wind is not great. Says that they think it's a Tawny Eagle that we've got here. So let's just go forward for Igor to try and see if we can not. Arwadi says Tawny Eagle. We will take your word for it for now. I just want to see if we can't get another view of it. It opened its wings a little bit, so maybe somebody got a view of it opening its wings. Can you still see it there, Igor? I think it's still behind that bush. Did it fly away?
No, it's still there.
Can't really see it. The only little center that's on this entire place, and it's hiding right behind it. That's bird camouflage for you. It's doing its best leopard impersonation. Since we haven't found a leopard, it's decided I'm going to just sit here and hide from all of you, and poke my head out every now and then. I actually wanted to see something quickly between tawnies and lesser spotteds when seated, if there's diagnostic features, because that's always a thing, you know, and part of birding is learning. So a lot of you have mixed answers. Some of you are saying lesser spotted. The only thing I'll say about this bird, why I'm not convinced it's a tawny, is that this the sear on this bird and then going into the gape. The gape looks too extended for a tawny eagle. The tawny eagle, that gape finishes midway through the eye, but this bird, that gape seems to extend past the eye a little bit, and it's definitely not the size of a step. And this behavior is very much behavior of a lesser spotted, to be low down, feeding on the ground, walking around insects. Tawnies typically are more meat orientated. We don't get them as much displaying this kind of behavior unless there is some semblance of, what is it throwing up in the air? It's definitely got something there. So let's see now. We can actually see that gape very, very clearly. I suppose it looks just like it extends too far to me, but no, it is a tawny. It's got no white on the back there. There's no white rump. So it is a tawny eagle. Well done for those that said tawny. Lesser spotteds, when they're in flight, you see there's like a little white on the tail, particularly on the juvenile bird. So you should have picked that up, but I didn't pick that up on this bird particularly. Maybe somebody can screenshot when it was opened its wings and we could see that tail area. But I'm trying to just see that gape. These brown eagles can be a nightmare sometimes, and there's so many times where I've seen posts on social media where there's arguments that go on, and there you get an idea of size with the guinea fowl. How cool is this? That's so cool.
Wow.
That's very, very cool. I've never seen guinea fowls run up to a bird of prey like that. Generally they're ducking and diving for cover. Luckily it's not a martial eagle, so they don't have to worry so much. But let's see if it comes around. So you can see what I mean about size. It's not a massive raptor. This is a fairly small raptor in comparison to something like a steppe. Guinea fowls are not huge birds, but it gives you a really nice size indication between the two. Now they're just watching each other. How crazy is this? Wow. What a cool sighting. Very cheeky little guinea fowls. Alright, let's sit here for a little bit. I still want to try and confirm the ID on this bird. We'll see what happens.